Hello everyone. Here is a quick update to my video about using Airtable to make yourself a recurring task list. I've been having a few responses to it recently, so I thought I would just make another video that shows you some other Airtable functionality that wasn't available at the time when I made that video earlier this year. Since then, they've launched their interfaces platform, which allows you to create customized interfaces in which you can interact with the data in a base in a simpler way. Some bases do get very complicated. They have a lot of fields, a lot of tables. You may not necessarily want other people to interact or even to be able to see all of those fields. And that's where interfaces come in. You can share an interface with someone without necessarily sharing the background base with them at the same time. So all they would see would be the interface, which displays only the fields you want them to see. Anyway, if you're just using it for your own personal use, of course, that's not an issue, but you still may want to have an interface just to make it easier and a bit more attractive to interact with and build other things into it as well. So let's build a really simple one from the beginning. So you select the interfaces link from the top of the page there, that's in every base, and you start building, and we'll just call this task management. And you've got a couple of different templates, as well as a totally blank page that you can also use. What we're going to use today is the record review, which gives you a nice sidebar from which you can select a record and then view all of the details about it in the main body of the window. So record review, next. And we're going to be using the repeating tasks table. We can set particular filters and sortings of the records, but we'll do that once we've actually set it up. And again, you can just choose which fields you want to display in the body of the interface. Again, I'll just skip through that quickly and show you how to do it from the page itself. We'll give it a title, task management. So we're calling it task management again because this is a page within the interface. You can have multiple pages within the same interface, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. So finish, and here we go. So this is a preview of what the interface will look like, and down the left here you have all of the tasks currently in that table. In the body you have any of the fields for each task that you might want to display. So if we go through those, we see they're slightly different. And on the right hand side here you have your bar where you can add in different functions and different filters and sorts and so on. You can also add in multiple pages. So at the moment you see we've just got one page called task management, but if we were to add in another one, just put a blank page in there for a second, and that's called untitled at the moment, but we would just call that I don't know, homepage, let's say. And however many pages you make, they're then displayed along the top here. So anyway, what we're going to do is the actual task management page, which we can now get to from here. And we can see in the tasks sidebar, what we've got are all of the tasks. Now, some of those are already marked as complete. There's one. And you might want to have your task list to show only your due tasks. So what we do then is if we select this sidebar, over on the right hand side, you see we can now change the settings for this sidebar. So at the moment the filter is set to, well, there isn't a filter set at all, it's showing all records. But what we want to show is only the records that haven't been marked as complete yet, so just our outstanding tasks. So we're looking for specific records, and we're adding the condition just as you would add the condition to a filter in a table. And that condition is where complete has not been ticked. So now you can see we've just got 3 tasks displaying there. Another thing you might want to do is group them to show which tasks are the most urgent or when they're due, so you can see at a glance from the sidebar which one you need to look at first. So what you do there is you group, add a group, and use due date as your grouping. And you can put those in either order. So at the moment it's set to 1 to 9, which will show the most urgent ones at the top, but you could do that in reverse order as well if you wanted to, which would show them in that order. So if you remember now, what we've done is we've set the formula to create a new task with the same date whenever you mark a particular task as complete. So let's just test that. We'll go to preview just to see how it looks. And we're looking at task 2, which is due today on the 30th of November. We're going to mark it as complete, and you will see we now have displayed your changes will hide this record. So because we've marked that task as complete, it's not going to show up anymore. So as soon as we select another task, that original one will have disappeared. And the automation running in the background has just created a new task number 2, which is due 1 week from today on the 7th of December. Let's try that again. So task 1 is due on the 30th of November. We mark it as complete. And another version of that task, task number 1, is created for the 7th of December. When you are setting up your interface, another thing you can do is decide which fields you want to be editable and which ones you don't want to be. Obviously, the date completed, you don't have that option because that is a formula field which can't be edited anyway. But the completed field is a tick box. You do want to be able to interact with that. So by default, the fields are set, I think, to view only. So for this one, you would want it to be editable, which would allow you then to tick that box. Likewise, for your due date, you can have it as view only, but what you want is to be able to change that particular due date for the task if you need to do so. So you make that editable as well. That's basically it. There is a lot more you can do with interfaces, and I'm going to be making some more videos soon, I think, because I'm quite enjoying myself. I hope you're enjoying these too and you're finding these useful. Please do like and subscribe. That really helps me out. Leave a comment or question if you have anything, and I will be happy to respond to you. Thank you very much. Peace and love.